The other day we had the gospel reading where Jesus talks about the difference between a house that's built on sand and a house that's built on rock, and how the same storm is going to hit them both. One is going to stand, one's going to collapse. And I was thinking more and more about kind of the influence of like evil on our lives and how the storms of life, shake us to our foundations. And I think in a particular way, like the storms of life really show the cracks in our foundation. And I think like a beautiful kind of way of looking at all that spiritually, like how does God use like all the mess and all the suffering, all the storms in our lives? We could think about it like, I remember hearing this once. God uses the devil as an unwilling instrument of our sanctification. Isn't that pretty amazing? So God can use even the devil as an unwilling instrument of our sanctification. Obviously, the devil does not want our salvation. He does not want what's good for our souls. But God, who is all-powerful, all-knowing, and all-loving, can use the devil, this fallen creature, as an intimate instrument of our sanctification. Those times and places in which we're tempted, in which we're afflicted, in which we're shaken to our foundations, He can use that to point out those cracks in our foundations, so that by His grace we too can become sanctified and stronger. That by having those cracks in our foundation revealed, we can fill them in and work on them. And I think especially during like the season of Advent, which we're in, we look forward to the coming of Christ at Bethlehem 2,000 years ago, but we look also forward to the end of time when Christ will come again in glory to judge the living and the dead. To have everything all set, to have those foundational cracks all filled up. Like maybe in a particular way too, during Advent, which is by its nature a penitential season, not as penitential as Lent, but during Advent as well, like a lot of people come back to the sacrament of confession, praise God. And I think as a priest as well, when you get those good, super integral confessions, the one in which it's just kind of like those gut-wrenching, totally honest, totally raw confessions. There's something so beautiful about that. And I think one of the most powerful ways, or really the most powerful way, we can fill in those foundational cracks in our spiritual life is by making a good, integral confession, to get it all out, even those things that are most embarrassing and shameful. And then from that, to really have those cracks really filled up, to have those cracks made whole. We could think about how in the storms of life, when we're shaken to our core, it's like God uses all of that, kind of like the Navy SEAL Hell Week, where you're put through just incredible, just trauma and stress and anxiety and physical exertion. You think about those guys, but after they pass through that crucible, they're like made like beyond rock solid. I think that's how God in a particular way uses the storms of our life. So anyway, those storms in our lives are going to come. And in this season of Advent, as we look forward to the ultimate coming of Christ at the end of time, when He'll come to judge the living and the dead, to have ourselves made ready, to have those foundations made secure on Him, so that when those storms come, we don't collapse. God bless you.